This is how a brand that is doing $1 billion per year in revenue creates Facebook ads. Vuori is a brand that sells clothing for men and women. And as you can see, the brand is very, very elevated. So when you have a brand like this, you want your ads to match that elevated look and feel. But what a lot of elevated brands shy away from is UGC. But there is a way that you can do UGC that uplifts your brand and still gets people to convert into customers. So I'm going to show you one of those UGC ads today from Vuori. And we're actually going to break it down, and we're going to talk specifically about the framework behind this video and how you can apply it to your own brand as well. And that's really the reason why I create these videos, is because I want you to be able to take something from every single video and be able to take an action step today. Be able to apply something new that you learned right now to your business, okay? And just a quick background on me, my name is Jordan Hayes. I run a marketing agency called Hayes, and I've been doing that since 2020. Before then, I was freelancing for 4 years, running Facebook ads for many different types of businesses. And over the years, we've developed our service offering. We offer both customer acquisition and customer retention services for e-commerce brands. And if that is something you're interested in, then there's a link down below. The first one in the description is onto our website. You can go ahead, book a call with me, and we'll see if it's a good fit for us to work together. Worst case, I can just share what's working for our clients right now, so you can actually go and apply that to your own brand as well. And before we get into it, just a quick refresh on the Shopify dashboard for one of our clients. You can see last 365 days, just over $9.6 million in revenue, and we're helping brands scale to the 8 figures, multiple 8-figure range. So let's watch the video first, and then we're going to break it down step by step.
Hi y'all, here's my version of a weekly reset. I'm such a morning person, so I love to wake up early. Today I put on my new Vuori set in the color Vintage Rose. It's a soft baby pink shade, which is the perfect transition color from summer to fall. At least one day out of the week, I like to take a reset day, take my workouts outside and somewhere in nature. Living in the city and constantly being on the go during the week is so fun and I love it, but taking a day to reconnect in nature helps me slow down and clear my head. I definitely need it. For today's reset, I found a beautiful lake in LA. I jogged a mile and then I walked another 2 miles. I did some slow band and mobility work too. On these days, I don't like to do anything too crazy. I like to focus on slow and controlled movements that make my body feel so good. I finished with a long stretch session and a little journaling to ground myself. These days always leave me feeling so much better. I highly recommend taking time to get outside and recharge at least one morning or evening out of your week. It's so worth it. All it takes is an hour or 30 minutes. Bye, guys.
Okay, so there you have it. It's just over a minute long. And this ad, interestingly, I would say it can even go so far as to targeting an unaware audience. When we talk about the stages of market awareness, there's 5 stages. You have everywhere from unaware, which is the coldest and the hardest to convert. And then you have those that are problem aware, those that are solution aware, those that are product aware, and those that are most aware. Now, your job as an advertiser is to be able to get people from whatever stage of awareness they're at to the stage of most awareness so that they are ready to buy your product. Okay, that's essentially how it works. Now, depending on what stage you want to target, you're going to approach and create ads in different ways, and you're going to talk to them in a different way. By the way, if you're a new viewer here, my name is Jordan Hayes. I actually run a marketing agency where we help e-commerce brands scale their revenue profitably. Now, if you're running an e-commerce brand, you're doing over 100K per month in revenue, and you're facing challenges with scale, maybe your ads or your funnel is not working as well as it used to or should be, or even if it's just a lack of time and resource to put into scaling this part of the business, then that's exactly what we help with. So down below this video, there'll be a link to book a call with me. We'll have a conversation about your business, learn more about the challenges, your objectives, and see if there's a fit for us to work together. Worst case scenario, I can provide some insights as we're seeing with our other clients to help you at your current stage of your business. And as I mentioned, this is for brands who are doing at least 100K per month in revenue and they need help with scaling and obviously want to scale profitably. And in the way in which we help brands scale is we provide services across both customer acquisition and customer retention, done for you services which are completely hands-off. We take care of everything for you. And that includes media buying, CRO, landing pages, ad creative, email marketing, SMS marketing, overall growth strategy, lifetime value optimization, all that stuff, okay? So with that said, let's get back to the video. Now, the reason why I say this is more of an unaware ad is because it's not trying to sell you anything. It's product placement. And what it's doing is it's just driving a little bit of curiosity. Okay, so if someone is not even aware of this brand, because the audience who would be interested in buying the product likes to watch these kind of videos, these daily, these wellness resets, these rituals, whatever it is. And you can see at the start of the video with the hook, it hooks people in who are likely to want to watch these kind of videos to learn from what other people are doing. So we just watch this again.
Hi y'all, here's my version of a weekly reset.
Okay, a weekly reset. Then after the hook, right after the hook, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, which is where most people experience a lot of drop off, becomes the product placement. Okay.
I'm such a morning person, so I love to wake
You see the brand name, but it doesn't actually say the brand or what it is yet.
up early. Today I put on my new Vuori set.
Now it says I put on my new Vuori set, right? And it explains it, but that is the only mention. So
I love to wake up early. Today I put on my new Vuori set in the color Vintage Rose. It's a soft baby pink shade, which is the perfect transition color from summer to fall. At least one day out.
Okay, that is really the only explanation of the product. Everything after the first 13, 14 seconds is talking about the wellness ritual, right? But what it's doing is it's pre-framed the customer early on in the video that, hey, this is my new Vuori set. So everything that you see afterwards, all these different shots of her working out, exercising, stretching, running, whatever it is her in the set. So you're seeing it across different activities. And even though she's talking about different things, it's just it being shown again and again and again. And it's small things like this, for example, where the bag is placed here. And again, you can see the brand name. Again, they're not trying to sell you hard on the product. It's not like, go ahead and buy the product now. We're currently running a fall offer. Like, it's not that. And this brand is trying to build more brand awareness, right? They're trying to go mass market. They're doing $1 billion a year, right? And to be able to continue to convert customers at a reasonable cost per acquisition and not just set money on fire, you need to go to more brand awareness type ads, right? You need to go to those colder stages of the market. And just because you show people this ad doesn't mean they're going to convert, especially the unaware audiences. They're not going to convert from this ad. They might, some people might search for Vuori and browse the site and say, okay, cool. And then what's going to happen is they're going to see another ad, maybe somewhere else. And maybe they're, driving in their car and they see an ad at a bus stop for Vuori, and then they go into the mall and they see a Vuori store and they start seeing it again and again and again. And that is really how you take someone from an unaware stage to a more aware stage, okay? And as they come further and further down the funnel, maybe again they join the website, okay, cool, retargeting ads, maybe they join the email list, let's send them some emails, and then they get into your ecosystem and then they buy, okay? And because you've allowed the customer time to basically come to you by showing them different advertising, different brand awareness points over a longer customer journey, that customer is probably more likely to stay and spend more money with you over their lifetime. And the reason why this is so hard is because most brands want that return on ad spend, that CPA now. And I get it. Look, I've been doing this for 5 years. I know how important it is to be, profitable first customer acquisition, especially as they're a small business. But if you can allocate some spend to these kind of ads, to more the brand awareness, what you're going to do is you're going to get ahead of your competitors by building brand and by going to those colder stages of the market. And what most brands don't do, what they fail to do, is they don't go to those colder stages of the market. They don't go to the unaware stages because it's hard and because it costs money. And yes, it can be expensive at the beginning, but it pays off after years of doing it. Okay. And if you're building a brand that you expect to be around 5, 10, 15 years, and by the way, if you're doing this, that's the way you should be thinking, right? You should be thinking in decades. Then this is what you have to do. Okay. And I want to show you something a bit different today in terms of the video and the ad style, because this is also very, very important. Okay. So let's break it down in a little bit more detail. So the hook we already went through with the lifestyle moment. We had the product introduction, which we already went through. There's some benefits that comes throughout that, right? Just more of the emotional lifestyle. It's what's really smart is that it connects the brand, right, which has already been pre-framed and the set that she's wearing, to all the emotional and lifestyle benefits that come from the wellness reset that she's doing, right? And it's subconscious, right? You don't actually realize it. But what's happening is that Vuori is being connected to these emotional benefits of slowing down, feeling grounded, balanced. Okay, and this is what the brand wants you to feel. So how do you actually apply this? Well, you tie your product to aspirational rituals or habits that your customer desires. Then throughout the video, we have some more lifestyle proof. So it's more like aspirational shots. So if you have a product where you can create this aspirational picture, you can future pace customers, which by the way is most products, right? Let's just say you're selling furniture, show the furniture in a very nice house, right? Or if you're selling jewelry, show the jewelry on people who your customers want to become, who they want to look like, who they want to feel like. Okay, this is why influencer marketing works so well, is because it's all about the aspirational feel. If this person that I look up to is doing it and wearing it, then I want to do it as well because I'm going to feel more like them, right? It's weird, but it's how it works. And then even at the end of the ad, there was no strong CTA. The CTA, if anything, is more about, hey, go out and do this reset, right? It's not go out and buy the product, it's more and do the reset, right? But what happens is when someone actually takes action and says, yeah, you know what, I want to go down to the lake and I want to do, a weekly reset this weekend, they're going to think about the video. Maybe they even watch the video again, right? They save the video as like, yeah, I want to do that because it's more lifestyle and actually a reel that you would see from a friend or just something on Instagram that you would see by scrolling through. And what that does is it gets more exposure to the product, right? Because they watch the video again. But also when they're doing the ritual, they're probably thinking like, yeah, you know what, it would be cool to have a Vuori set as well, right? Like this is what happens in the customer's mind, but you have to give it time, right? And what you will likely see if we were to go into Vuori's ad account and look at that ad, they're probably not even optimizing for website purchases. They're probably just optimizing for awareness, and you're not going to see direct return on that. And that is the point, right? You can't measure these ads with direct return. And this is what's hard, right? Because you don't know if you're setting money on fire or not. But if you follow a structure where you create this aspirational feel where the brand is placed into these educational and value-driven content, then you're going to start to ingrain your brand and your products into your customer's mind, okay? And just the last point here, the reason why this works well and the way that you have to do it is that you have to paint a picture of the person that your audience wants to become, okay? If that doesn't happen, then you're not really creating a desire to become. And that is really the point. And that is really the consumer psychology behind these more awareness style ads, is it's more about painting the picture of who the customer wants to become versus who they are right now. And basically the product is the vehicle to get them there. Now, the cool thing about this framework is you can take the same overarching theme, and if you wanted, you could make it more direct response, right? You could intertwine some more direct response elements from the other videos on my channel where we go deeper into more direct response ads and more consumer psychology driven features and benefits and all these different points about social proof, authority. You can intertwine more of those in and still get across the more aspirational style ad that you're aiming towards. And when you do create unaware ads that spark curiosity, you are also, by the way, also targeting all the other stages of awareness, right? Everyone is kind of grouped in as well. Because if it's unaware, like even if I'm aware of maybe a problem that I'm just not getting out enough and I'm not, exercising or not treating myself or, taking care of myself, well, this ad is going to appeal to me as well. Maybe if I'm aware of, the fact that a wellness reset is a good solution to the way I'm currently feeling, again, this is going to remind me, hey, I should do this. If I'm aware of the product and I see it again, I say, oh, it's Vuori, cool. And then if I'm most aware, right, meaning I'm considering buying the product and I see this again, it also appeals to me, right? So that's the beauty of going to those colder audiences, is that if someone in another awareness stage sees those ads, you're still going to appeal to them, okay? But for example, if you're targeting a solution-aware audience, you stop there, right? You don't get to target the problem-aware and the unaware because what you're saying doesn't really resonate with them. So you could think of it as whatever stage of awareness you're targeting that stage of awareness and everyone who's at a higher stage of awareness than that. Okay, so that's it for this video. As I mentioned, if you were looking for a partner to help you scale your e-commerce brand and you don't want to do any of this yourself, you just want someone to produce the ads for you, help you scale, and have a team come in where it's not their first rodeo and they know exactly how to scale e-commerce brands, this is exactly what we do. So down below this video, in the video description, is going to be a link to my website. You can go ahead, book a call with me. It's 20 minutes and we can have a chat about your business and I can actually help you understand what would be the next steps if I was in your shoes. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.